today's show is not going to be on that. I'm going to be talking about a couple things today. Tech's hottest new job. What is Tech's hottest new job? Well, you're going to find out in this show today. We're also going to be talking about 14 of the highest paying programming languages. 14 of the highest paying programming languages that you should consider if you are a programmer or you are a student in college or you're looking to go the programming route. 14 of them that's going to pay you $155,000 or more. We're also going to talk about Salesforce, what they pay their people. Working for a top company like Salesforce, one thing you haven't heard about Salesforce, guys, you haven't heard they're making cuts. You haven't heard they're making layoffs and stuff like that. You haven't heard that from Salesforce. Some companies are going to continue to increase their hiring during this economic downturn. Some companies are going to because they are profitable. They can hang on. They don't have to cut people. They don't have to wait for the next round of funding when all this money dries up because of inflation. You got to think about it, guys. Inflation is going to impact the majority of people who aren't making a lot of money because the cost of goods are going to continue to go up. So, of course, the people who aren't making a lot of money, they're going to be impacted the most. They are going to be impacted the most. But it's also going to impact the people who own companies or corporations who are just looking for funding and they aren't profitable yet. Well, if you have $160 million in funding and you aren't a profitable company and you spend that, you may not get your next round of funding to continue to keep your people. You may not get your next round of funding. That's why it's so important, guys. That's why it's very important to monitor who you are working for, to choose and be selective who you are working for. When your company announces earnings or you are looking to go towards a company, do your research, do your research, do your research. The profitable companies are going to stick around during this economic downturn. There's going to be companies that go like this, boom, and they're going to tank. They're going to tank. And you may be one of the people who bought into it being a great company and so forth. You may be one of the people that bought into it being a great company and so forth and how it's going to improve your resume and make you look good and all this other stuff. But you may end up without a job. We're also going to talk about side hustles as well, too. That's going to be the last one we're going to talk about. I'm going to be doing a lot of jumping around in this show today because I'm all over the place, and that's just who I'm going to bring you guys today. I'm all over the place. But in either case, I'm going to bring you a good show. Guys, I want to say something. We are having a lot of success. We are having a lot of success in the Black Heights community. People getting jobs still in this economic downturn. People getting promotions still in this economic downturn. People moving on to newer companies. People getting increases, making more money and so forth. And they're doing this all in the Black Heights community. You should consider to join the Patreon to be a part of the Black Heights community. Matter of fact, this week, what I've done for my premium, my professional members, I've given them access because I've partnered with Google. I've given them access to Google professional certificates. I've given them access to that. I bring value to my Patreon members through coaching, through introducing them to other individuals, motivation, as well as partnerships that allow for them to get access to things that they wouldn't have access to. That's how we run the Patreon. We are a strong community. Consider to join it. So I want to start off the conversation like this. It's probably going to be, matter of fact, I'm going to start it off like this. Yelp. We're going to talk about Yelp first because at the end of the day, I started off the conversation about companies choosing to either bring their people back to the office or letting them work remote forever. That's it. And Yelp is a company, and their CEO says the company will go fully remote, closing offices in New York, DC, and Chicago. They say, okay, well, we close these offices. If we close these offices in these expensive cities, we can maintain our employees. If our employees aren't traveling as much, we can maintain our employees. If we're continuing to be profitable, we can keep the same employees that we need to, even in the time of an economic recession that we're in. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick, because Yelp CEO says the company will go fully remote, closing offices in DC, New York, Chicago, and it's best for our employees and for our business, Yelp says. So you got a CEO that believes in the working from remote. He believes in it. He believes that people who work remote, it's good for them. It's very good for them. He's different than other CEOs, especially the one who runs Tesla, right? So Yelp CEO, co-founder, Jeremy Stoppelman, wrote in Yelp's blog post that the company is going fully remote. Over time, we came to realize that the future of work at Yelp is remote. It's best for our employees and for our business. I love this message because obviously when employees or companies, or put it like this, let me repeat that. Obviously when employers, companies make decisions based on their workforce, it sounds like he's making this decision based on the feedback from his workforce. It's best for our employees and for our business. If it's best for your employees, then it's best for your business. And I love the fact that he actually said that. This is the type of company that you want to consider to work for because of the person who's in charge. He's in tune with what's best for the actual people. So consider to work for Yelp if they have positions that are open. But Stoppelman said the pandemic showed the company that it could effectively operate remotely and that its employees could thrive and be just as, if not more, productive while remote. Employees are more satisfied working remotely as they can spend precious time that they would not have otherwise spent commuting. Let me repeat that again. Employees are more satisfied working remotely as they can spend more precious time they would have otherwise spent commuting, doing the things they love with the people who mean the most to them. I agree with that. I agree with that. If you can cut off an hour each way out of your commute to the office, that's 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day is, you can spend an hour to get a workout in. You can spend another hour spending time with your wife or your kids. That's meaningful. That's impactful. An hour a day or 2 hours a day is a good amount of time. That's a good amount of time. And you spend an hour a day working out every single day of the week, you're going to make significant gains. So if you get rid of commuting in your car 2 hours a day and are able to spend that time with your family, your wife, your spouse, your kids, working out, taking care of yourself, your health, it's better for you. It's better for you. So in a survey of employees, Yelp found that 86% of respondents preferred to work remotely most or all the time. The survey also found that 87% of respondents say remote work made them more effective at work, and 93% of employees and managers said they could meet their goals with remote work. All right? So you got companies out there, guys, that fully believe into remote work, and Yelp is one of them. And this is a company, as I mentioned, that you want to consider to work for. Why do I say that? Why do I say Yelp is a company that you want to consider to work for? Well, because you heard the message from the CEO. He's in tune with the business. There were employees said that they work best from home, so he listened. Took a survey and so forth. He listened. He's not one of those CEOs that says, you're going to do it my way or else. Or else. All right? This is the type of company you want to work for. This is the type of person that you want to work for in your tech career. All right, I wanted to make sure I hit that one. And that one wasn't on the agenda for today, but I told you guys, I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to be all over the place.